Hello, my name is Elkrief, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to love yourself. So before I get into how to love yourself, I think it's important to address why some of the more common tactics to love yourself don't really give you the result that you want. So the two most common ways that I hear for how to love yourself are, one, positive affirmations about yourself, and two, treating yourself physically well. So both of those are fine. There's nothing wrong with either of those. But if we look at it closely, we might discover why they don't give us the love and fulfillment that we want. So first, positive affirmations. So for those of you who don't know what that is, some people advise that you tell yourself, I am great, I am lovable, I am smart, I am kind, right? Whatever you think isn't great about yourself, whatever reason you have to not love yourself or to feel ashamed about yourself or your situation, to just turn that into a positive and say, you know, I am smart, I am attractive, I have a great situation, or whatever. In attempts basically to try to convince yourself to think more positively. And if that works for you, fine, no problem. I'm not trying to take that away from you or anything. It's just the problem with that, or the reason why it's often not fulfilling, is because it doesn't, telling yourself something positive doesn't eliminate the negative thought we have about ourselves. So if I think I am unlovable, then there's a reason for that. And by just telling myself over and over again, I am lovable, it doesn't address the reason why I think I'm unlovable. Right? If I am ashamed about my life, to just tell myself my life is great, it doesn't address the reason why I'm ashamed about my life. Right? If I think that I'm unattractive, to just tell myself over and over again I am attractive, it doesn't address the reason why I think I am unattractive. So that's why these types of positive affirmations don't really fill us with love for ourselves and make us happy. Well, that's one of the reasons, and it's the only reason I'm going to get into in this video. And the second common way that we tend to hear for how to love ourselves is to basically treat our bodies well, to do something nice for ourselves. So maybe go to a spa, or treat yourself to your favorite food, or go to a concert, or get a manicure, or something like that. And that is treating your body well, or treating your self well in a sense. But the reason why we don't love ourselves and don't feel good about ourselves is because we have negative thoughts about ourselves, right? It's because we feel ashamed about something about ourselves. We feel ashamed about something about our situation. For whatever reason, we don't feel this love. It's because of a thought, right? Thoughts create it, whatever thought it is. So when we treat ourselves, we're basically saying, you know, I deserve this, right? And it is nice that I get to experience this, and this is something I should give myself because I'm worth it. And that's fine. No problem with that at all. If you enjoy it, do it. No problem. But since treating ourselves physically to something nice doesn't address the thoughts that make us feel unlovable or not loving or unhappy, they don't make us feel loved and happy, right? In order to feel lovable, worthy, and all of this, we need to address the thoughts that make us feel unlovable and unhappy. So now that we see why those two methods don't really give us the love that we want, let's look at how to experience love for ourselves. How to feel lovable and happy. So the first question you have to ask yourself is, why do I feel unlovable? What do I not like about myself? What do I think is bad about my situation? Right? What is causing it? And really look. We're generally so busy entertaining ourselves and distracting ourselves that we don't allow ourselves to just be with our thoughts. And if we don't see what thoughts are making us feel unlovable and unhappy, then we certainly can't address them. So it may seem scary to really look at why you feel unlovable, but you have to do it if you want to not feel that way anymore. So, for most of us, we might feel, I'm unattractive, my personality isn't good enough, I'm not outgoing enough, I'm not social enough, I'm not something enough. Or maybe it's not a specific thing, it's not a specific trait, but it's just this underlying sense of unlovability or unworthiness. Right? So look to see what's there for you. You can do it now, or you can take time on your own, because it might take a little while. Right? But be patient with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Whatever thoughts are making you feel unlovable, it's not under our control. They just pop up out of nowhere. Right? So it's not personal. So once you see what's creating this unlovability, once you see what thoughts are creating it, then you can simply ask yourself, 1, does this exist as a fact? Am I factually unlovable? Am I factually unattractive? Am I factually in a bad situation? Right? Look, does it exist in the facts? Where does unlovability exist? Where does unattractiveness exist? Sure, I may have specific features, or my situation may be a certain way, but that's facts, right? My face looks like this. It's this shape, it's this, that. The thoughts about the facts are, because it's this shape, that means I'm ugly. Right? Or because my situation is like this, that means it's not good enough. So look at the thoughts that make you feel unlovable and see, does it exist as a fact, or does it just exist as a thought? When I don't have that thought, how do I feel? You can also ask yourself, could the opposite perspective be true? Could somebody think my situation is great? Could somebody think I'm attractive and really comfortable and they enjoy talking to me? Right? Could somebody think I'm so worthy of love? Right? And they wish they could be in a relationship with us. Is it possible? Are there people out there? So if other people could have that perspective, how do we know that the perspective in our mind is true? We don't. Right? Or you can also ask yourself, how do I feel when I'm being entertained? When I'm doing something that I love? Right? Just look. Right? Do you do anything for fun? Do you have anything that you engage with that you really enjoy? And in the midst of that activity, when you're really enjoying yourself, do you feel unlovable? Do you feel lonely? Do you feel lacking? Do you feel unworthy? Probably not. In the moments that you're enjoying yourself, none of these feelings in your body are part of your experience. We don't feel unlovable or unworthy when we're not thinking about it. So, you are not unlovable. You are not unworthy. There is nothing wrong with you. It's just that when you have these thoughts about how you're not good enough, it creates the experience of unlovability and unworthiness. But that's not who you are. So any time that you feel unlovable or unworthy, or that you really want to love yourself because you don't feel it, instead of telling yourself something great about yourself, look to see why or what thoughts are creating this feeling. What stories are going on in your mind in that moment? And then question it. Is that true? Where does that exist? Is that a fact? Could somebody else feel differently about this? And then once you see, oh wait, it just exists as a thought, then all of a sudden you're free. You don't have a thought that says, I love myself, or I am wonderful, but you don't need that to feel lovable. You don't need that to love yourself. The absence of judgments about yourself leaves you with love for yourself, from yourself, and to everybody. That's the end of the story. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.